Hello once again and welcome to Willow Talk. Adam Peacock here and over there being India, Delhi, I reckon. Alyssa Healy. How are you, Heels?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks for coming along. I know you've got other things to do, like watch cricket and play golf over there and hang out with Mitch, but how are things over there? How's the trip so far?
Really busy over here, Adam. I'm surprised that I had half an hour spare to talk to you guys. Done a heap of getting outside of my hotel room. No, it's been good. It's obviously the worst happened where I thought I'd show up. I thought I was the Messiah last year, and Mitch started going really well after I arrived, and then arrived and watched, and Delhi lost their first game. So, things haven't started well on that front, but it's been good. I haven't spent a lot of time in Delhi throughout my life so far, so it's nice to be here and get amongst it.
Yeah, we speak right now on the cusp of Delhi taking on Rajasthan Royals, so by the time you listen to this, you'll know the result, so you'll truly know if Healy is the Messiah, the good luck charm, or she'll be banished from the team hotel for the forthcoming fixtures. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, Heels.
Well, I hope not, but I mean, if I have to get on a plane home, we'll have to deal with that. But I was here 2 days, and they'd already asked me to extend my flights till the end of the season. So I'm feeling optimistic about them enjoying having me here. So we'll wait and see what unfolds.
What is the scene like? Because I spoke to Hads obviously the last few years, and he says outside team hotels and wherever you go, it's rockstar treatment. Are you feeling that vibe, or is it a bit different in Delhi given the size of the place?
No, I think the general feel is, especially this time of year, everyone loves the IPL, everyone loves cricket. So if you're aligned to an IPL side, people know who you are, people know what you're up to, and want to, say hi and chat and take photos and whatnot. So it is a different feeling, that's for sure. But it's good fun. I mean, it's a nice time of year to be over here. It's hot, but it's a nice time to be over here because all everyone wants to do is watch cricket and watch good cricket. So it's good fun. It's the hotels in particular are just so well set up for the teams. That's what I've noticed the last few years coming here. When you go to your home hotel, I mean, there's a great family set up this year here at Delhi. There's kids and family everywhere, but there's a little team room you can go down, play pool, play ping pong. There's a golf sim, just opportunities like that to go and mingle and hang out and spend some time together, which I think is really cool. And the fact that the families get full access to everything, I think, is a really nice experience for them as well. But the boys are very well looked after and, enjoying their stay at the moment.
Brilliant. Coffee machine as well, I'm tipping?
There is. They've invested. I think with the amount of coffee that's drunk around the team, they've invested in a little one for the group, so that one's flowing at the moment.
Brilliant. We are going to talk some cricket, by the way. We seem to get off track at the top of shows, but that's just the way we roll. We're going to look at the IPL off the back of one of the greatest games in IPL history, and incredibly, only 200 plus a little bit of change runs were scored. So that is extraordinary. We'll go across the border because the PSL is underway as well. And we're going to talk to Mitch Owen. Remember him from the Big Bash? Well, Mitch is on the T20 gravy train right now, and good on him. And we're going to catch up with Mitch during this episode because he did great things with the Hobart Hurricanes this season, and it's parlayed into some good times for him around the world. We're going to finish with Sundries, and we're going to look at some of the most unique player of the match prizes as well. And there is an absolute beauty of a story involving Dan Vettori. Have you got? Will anything surprise you when it comes to Dan Vettori, who no doubt you've got to know as he's become a part of the Australian Test setup for the men?
No, I don't think any story will surprise me. No, but if it involves him doing something a little bit cheeky, I think that that is like true to form, I'd say. So I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Okay. Now, remember to hit us up on social media if you want to get in touch with the show by searching Willow Talk Podcast on TikTok and Instagram, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Listener Sport. Love the comments on our YouTube channel as well, so keep them flowing. We've got a message from Michael here, Heels, on Insta. Hey team, love the podcast. Have to agree with what Jake Lehman said earlier this week on the podcast about Jimmy Anderson being a secret Aussie. Now listen to this, Heels. During the 2017 Ashes series, Jimmy and his English teammates went out to a nightclub in Perth, which me and my mates were also at. While the other English lads were drinking their vodka, lime and sodas and la-di-da, he didn't put that, but I just added that, la-di-da drinks, Jimmy is at the bar and turns to my mate, asking him what's good to drink around here. My mate says Emu Export is pretty good, completely seriously. Not only does Jimmy buy a can of Western Australia's finest, but one for each of us as well. He had a quick chat and posed for a photo. Top man is Sir Jimmy. Emu Export. Extraordinary.
To be honest, I've never even heard of that beer, so that's well played.
Oh, don't say that in Perth. It's their West
They're
End.
too far away. They won't hear it. That's fine.
Fair enough. Emu Export, probably, with all due respect to all WA listeners answering right now, it's not going to win one of those Beer of the Year awards. But it's a cult feel over there. And you know how protective WA is of their own products and their own sports people and their own beers, so you can imagine.
A lot of FIFO workers. I'm sure it's a good drop over there.
What's the go-to over there, beer-wise?
Well, Kingfisher.
Yeah.
Got your Kingfisher Premium. Kingfisher, I don't know, it's everything over here is headache. So you just, yeah. Doesn't matter how many you have, you wake up with a headache. It's just not good. But you can forever around the world get a Heineken, so it's not so bad.
Okay, fair enough. Now, please leave us a review and follow on the Listener app as well, Apple Pods or Spotify, and keep those messages coming, and love takes about that as well. And yeah, Jake Lehman was a great guest earlier in the week talking about South Australia's Shield win and everything about Travis Head and Alex Carey and a few other stories from around the place. So that was good fun. Now, the IPL heels, and Tuesday night, I should say, Punjab Kings 111 defended against KKR 95. I'd imagine on the plethora of TV shows, podcasts, etc. over there, they're trying to decipher what on earth happened to KKR in this run chase. Extraordinary game of cricket, Heels.
Yeah, I mean, for a tournament that's been really dominated by batters at this point in time, i.e. the high amount of runs being scored, to see a low-scoring game like this on a wicket that, you know, probably suited the bowlers a little bit more, but yeah, I assume KKR will be digesting as to exactly what unfolded, but I think Ricky Ponting said it was the greatest win that he's been involved in. I mean, to defend 111 in a T20 game in the modern era is quite remarkable when you think about it. So fair play to them, but it's nice to actually see some batters struggle for a change.
Yeah. What is that talk at the IPL about the bat v ball discussion, which obviously first half of the season last year was a big discussion with the impact sub rule coming in and some of the decks that were served up on small grounds. Along the same lines this year?
Yeah, it's actually been really interesting to follow the commentary of it, because obviously the fans love it and the fans love fours and sixes. And like we spoke about a couple of episodes ago about when there's a sponsor for the amount of fours and sixes and whatnot being hit, you know, in a tournament, you're going to produce flat wickets to make sure that the sponsors are getting adequate airtime compared to planting trees for a dot ball. But the commentary around it, especially from a lot of past Indian players and a lot of past players that have played in the IPL, is that it's gone too far. It's become less interesting to an extent. It's taking the bowlers out of the games a little bit more, and it's probably limiting people's impact. So it'll be interesting to see whether the balance lies moving forward. I think as the tournament goes on and the wickets potentially start to get a little bit more tired, then we might see a little bit, the scores come down a little bit and the bowlers probably working out ways to get people out. But at the moment, it's like that wicket number 2 in Hyderabad is just ridiculous. When teams are getting, 260 and chasing down or getting close, whatever it was the other night, just ridiculous. So it's not easy being a bowler, but I think if you can find a way to work it out and at least take wickets while you're getting hit for 6, I think you're well in the game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward.
Yeah, there's one school of thought that you touched on. There's give the people what they want, and that's fours and sixes. It's a bit like Don McLean appearing in a concert and refusing to sing American Pie. It's like people want to see those things because that's what they know. But I can't imagine there would have been too many people walking out of that ground on Tuesday night when Punjab and KKR finished their game thinking, "Oh, that was a bit of a dud. I want my money back."
Yeah, and that's it's quite often in the way. It's almost like you need a game like that to reset everything, if that makes sense. And it's like sometimes everyone goes, oh, you don't need 240 plays 220 to have a really good contest. It's actually sometimes the low scoring games, but I think we only notice that when they're every now and then. It sort of brings you back down and go, oh, actually, no, that we can do that. But for me, I mean, if 180 plays 180 in T20 cricket, like that's, for me, really interesting because it's a really even battle between bat and ball, and players are still going to hit runs and strike at 200 and for it to be exciting, but the bowlers are going to take wickets at the same time, which also is equally as exciting. There's just as big a roar for a six. For a bowled where the stumps light up and there's bails and stuff everywhere for a six being hit. So I think a little bit of an even contest wouldn't do any harm. And I know I might sound biased because I'm married to a fast bowler, but I mean, it's getting harder and harder for them over here, that is for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just touching on this incredible game, it's 3 for 72 at one stage in the 10th over. KKR chasing that 111. But I'm guessing Ricky Ponting described it as his greatest ever IPL win. So you look at different sports when your footy team seemingly down, your soccer team's 3 goals down with 20 minutes to go, tennis players down 2 sets and a break in a Grand Slam match, and all of a sudden they turn it around and win. I don't know if something stands out for you, Heels, when you were dead and buried, and then one thing changed, and it was Chahal in this occasion for Punjab. He started to take wickets and everything twisted really, really quickly. But the way you react to it and the feeling you get at the end of it, I can't imagine there's many feelings like it.
Well, I think, and for me, like looking at the game, I'm trying to work out whether Punjab won it or KKR lost it, and I think that's often the way that you kind of decipher it is like, well, what did unfold, and if it was Yuzi Chahal coming in, taking wickets and won the game, then there's no greater feeling. I think that, especially in the game of cricket, in a low chase, to be able to defend something like that, you feel like you could do anything after that. But then at the same time, if you feel like the opposition just completely gave it away, then there's almost, you feel a bit dirty about winning it. So Ricky's reaction to that suggests to me that he felt like Punjab actually went out there and won that game and defended it well, which is cool. And like you mentioned, I think there isn't much better of a feeling when you're able to do something like that, because it means everything's come together for you, all your planning, your execution, everything you spoke about, probably a little bit of luck along the way, but everything's come up trumps, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I find games like this from the batting side psychologically fascinating, because it's not like the batter sitting there waiting to come in is any way affected by what's going on out there with technique and what you're facing. But psychologically, it's also, so you're almost walking out there. I don't know what it's like, Heels. You can describe it to me, that you're going out there almost in a half negative frame of mind when the seed of doubt's been planted, even though it's got nothing to do with you because you've been sitting there waiting for your turn.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because you feel like, don't get out, instead of forgetting to hit the winning runs. It's almost like, I don't want to get out now, I can't afford to, instead of actually just keeping the scoreboard moving and swinging the momentum back your way. But this is where I feel like these domestic tournaments do wonders for the sides right around the world, in that you look at the experience that some of the younger Indian players in particular will get out of this. And I look at the Delhi game the other night against Mumbai as well. I mean, for guys to come in that situation, in international cricket, you expect the big dogs to ice those games and get teams over the line. And now for these young domestic players to go out there and learn and go, actually, I stuffed up here, or I could have done this differently, and this is what I needed to do to get my team over the line. In the long run, does wonders for international sides, and I think that's what's made Australia so successful for a long period of time, is you back those guys to go out there, and girls to go out there and get the job done. So, yeah, it's good learnings. Sometimes it sucks as a batting side to lose in a chase like that, but I think they'll be better for it in the long run, I think, after, hopefully, some positive discussions out of it.
You've been there 5 minutes, obviously, but quick Aussie update. Any whispers around how our boys are going over there, and any stories in particular about how they're enjoying life in the IPL?
I haven't heard a whole heap. They're pretty low-key over here, to be honest with you, but I think there has been a gross amount of golf being played. I'm not sure where that all sits, sure. But the Starcs got the win over Matthew Mott and a South African the other day, so that's all that really matters. But no, everyone seems to be going all right. I think that players are just sort of looking after one another, and I guess that's the beauty of the whole home and away scene is you get to catch up with your mates right along the way and look after one another, which is cool. But I think they've got a little WhatsApp group of just filled with banter and Call of Duty and golf rubbish chat. So I think they look after one another in that regard.
What's a game day look like over there for you? Have you got to stay out of the way as he hones in on what he's got to concentrate on, his 4 important overs, and then running around like a rabbit on the boundary because he never gets subbed out? I mean, what's that like for you and him?
Well, I can show you if you like.
Hey, Mitch. Stressing terribly.
Yeah, he's super stressed about the game tonight.
Bundle of
game
nerves.
day doesn't look like a lot. Honestly, it's like it's no joke, the old IPL schedule, like the timings of it, everything's so late. You don't go to bed till like 2, 3 a.m. after games, and you get on this cycle. You wake up at like 10:30, you go to breakfast at like 11 o'clock. Anyway, it's a bizarre thing. So game days are actually pretty chilled. You wake up late, get fed, and then you go to the ground and do your job. So I think he's paying some bills at the moment, so I'm grateful for that.
Oh, wonderful. What a job. It sounds like a almost like you're playing for Napa Valley Cricket Club in Tequila or something like that. So the amount of stress involved. A little bit more on the line. A few more people watching, perhaps.
Maybe a few less red wines before the game as well, yeah.
Hey, have you been, speaking of like cricketers in their downtime, you're all on annual leave now, the women's team. Have you? Who's having the best time, it looks like, at the moment in their off-season?
In their adventures. I'd probably, at this stage, the only ones I've really seen is Ash Gardner, who just recently got married. She's on her honeymoon, so I dare say that Ash and Mon are probably enjoying themselves the most at the moment. But I imagine all the Victorians are just going to the footy every weekend, enjoying life, so in the cold weather. But yeah, I'd say Ash is probably having the most fun.
Yeah, fair. Just back to the IPL, MS Dhoni, the King, 26 off 11 to see CSK home in another game, that one against Lucknow. He's the oldest player of the match in IPL history at 43. So, MS Dhoni still getting it done. Is he? Do you turn the telly on much over there? Is there like an MS Dhoni update every day on the coverage, or how do they handle that?
Well, I haven't turned the TV on a lot, but every time I open my phone, there's like an article or something about MS Dhoni, and I think the funniest part leading into that game was about how he shouldn't be playing. They've started not turning on him. That's not the way I should put it, but they've started writing a little bit of stuff about Chennai and as an aging group, and that why was MS in the team, and then he goes out and wins the game for them, so that he'll squash that for another couple of games, and off we go. And now he's back to being God again, and everyone will leave him alone. So fair play to him. I mean, if you're still running around a cricket field at 43, good luck to you. Yeah,
and if you're a journalist considering to write off someone like that, I know it eventually has to happen that he has to give the game away, but it's borderline idiotic to say that, he doesn't deserve this, doesn't deserve that, because more often than not, that person, because of their longevity, will come out and prove you wrong. Adam Zampa, meantime, is out of the rest of the IPL, picked up a shoulder injury, unfortunately, playing for Sunrisers Hyderabad with Pat Cummins and Travis Head, etc. So bad luck for Zamps there. He's finally got back with IPL cricket playing regularly, and then this happens. Bummer.
Yeah, a bit of bad luck, but maybe the break might do him some good as well. An opportunity to freshen up with a little bit of white ball cricket and some franchise cricket around the world coming up. So, but yeah, not ideal timing, but I mean, being a leg spinner in Hyderabad at the moment doesn't seem like too much fun.
No, exactly. But yeah, hopefully he's right for Australia's white ball tour of the West Indies, and got some white ball cricket coming up later this year against South Africa. We've got a drinks break coming up here on Willow Talk. We've got Mitch Owen just around the corner, the Tassie big hitter. He'll join us, and we've got Sundries back in a sec. Welcome back to Willow Talk, and now to catch up with one of the stars of the summer that we've just had here in Australia, and it's opened up a few doors for him, I dare say, especially what he did in the Big Bash final. Who can forget the equal fastest century in Big Bash history? Smile's coming across his face right now as I introduce our special guest, Mitch Owen, for the Hobart Hurricanes then, and now he's on that carousel that you want to be on as a cricketer around the world with T20 cricket. Mitch, how are you, mate? And I'm guessing the memories still burn pretty brightly about that day down in Hobart.
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks for having me on. Here in the hot Pakistan, into the PSL grind, which has been a great start. Um, and yeah, great experience so far. Back to that night. I try not to think about it too much, even though it's a nice feeling. But it's more when I'm just sort of scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, and whatever, and it just pops up every now and then where I go, "Oh wow, that's pretty amazing." So yeah, all great memories, and I look back on them very fondly.
How's Pakistan treating you at the moment? Obviously, um, getting the call up to go over there. How's that all tracking? The PSL's only really just begun, but how's it all feeling over there?
Yeah, we're 2 games in, and we're 0-2. We've got absolutely smacked the first 2 games, which um, we can only go up from here, which is the good news. Um, but no, it's been good. The hospitality here is amazing, and the people are so generous. It was sort of a late call up for me. Picked up in like a supplementary draft, I think, towards the beginning of the tournament. So it all happened pretty quickly in terms of getting over here. So no, it's been really cool, and yeah, like you said before, it's that it's these sort of tournaments that you want to be a part of, the really high quality ones. So very grateful for Peshawar's army to give me an opportunity.
Mitch, can you talk through how logistically it's worked over the last couple of months, especially since that end to the Big Bash season, or the whole Big Bash season that you had, put you on the radar, and especially that final appearance? So what happens then? Does your agent start throwing out Burley to try and haul a couple of options in for you, or are they a franchise around the world contacting your agent, and then you've got to sift through them all? Because straight after you went over to South Africa for a couple of games, and then now you've lobbed in the PSL. How does it work?
Yeah, well, the South Africa one was sort of in the works a little bit before the final. Um, I think after that first 100 I scored in the Big Bash, it's sort of that the door started to open a little bit then. Um, so that was sort of in the works, but then after the final, the next day it was all confirmed pretty quick, and I was on a flight the night after the grand final, so that happened pretty quick. And then these sort of things, yeah, my agent, he sort of throws the burley out there, and um, goes obviously a bit harder at the ones that don't impact the Australian summer. And they're the ones that I obviously want to play in the most. So, I mean, it's sort of, if the team wants you, they'll try their best to get you. It's just, it, people sort of think that it happens really quick after that final, but obviously I was on the flight the next day, but the other sort of opportunities, like this PSL one came up last minute. So after South Africa, I didn't really have anything on the go. So, I was getting a lot of questions asking where I'm going next, but I actually didn't really know, to be fair.
Do you feel like you were ready for that? I mean, obviously, everyone sticks their hand up and wants to be a part of everything that they possibly can. But do you feel like you were ready to jump on the carousel, so to speak, like from a training perspective, from a playing perspective, going back to back, playing in different groups? Do you feel like you were good to go for that opportunity?
Uh, Probably not, to be fair. I mean, South Africa sort of hit me in the face a little bit. I was pretty cooked after a long 6, 7 weeks, whatever the Big Bash is. Having to go there towards the end of the tournament. I came in for the last round game and then 2 finals games with them. To come in and try and have to buy into like a team environment, get to know everyone. I felt like I sort of had to try and impress people. Like I wanted to play and I wanted to do well. And by the end of that 10, 11 days of being in South Africa, I was pretty cooked, and I was on the flight home. I was like, geez, like if I want this sort of, uh, this lifestyle to work, I need to, learn how to get through these things. But I mean, looking back 5 or 6 months ago, I didn't know if I was up to being good enough to play at this level. So it's like, it's all happened so quickly that I'm not sure what it looks like for me. All these experiences are the first of these experiences for me. So getting here and learning how to go about, different training, different conditions, different cultures, different lifestyles. It's not something that I really know if I'm ready for it yet. It's just sort of taking it one day at a time and one game at a time.
Mate, we've got to pass on Dan Christian's number to you because he's got more tracksuits than Rebel Sport. So if there's a guy who knows how to adjust quickly to different conditions and prepare for playing in all parts of the world, including he's one of the greats of Multan Sultans over there, old Dan. But what else maybe is on the radar then this year, or you don't want to jinx it and let us know what it is?
No, well, I can let you know that the next tournament is, I'm not sure if you saw that, the Max 60 T10 tournament. It's a little smack around tournament in the Cayman Islands, which I went to last year, which was good fun. That's next,
you beauty.
which is that's just a little 10-day T10 tournament, which is good fun. And then I'm going to that sort of get me ready to go to the MLC, which follows that, which would be great fun. Looking forward to that one.
Just quickly on the Cayman Islands, and on behalf of myself and Heels, do they need an official podcast done over there?
Yeah.
No, I'll float the question. I'm sure they'd love to.
Well, we could do comms, Adam. We could do the commentary over there, surely.
Go on.
Do it all. But Heels, I'm guessing as a cricketer, you're listening to this saying, well, the best thing is that your talent eventually opens up options, and it's what you do with those options after that is the next step.
Oh, 100%. And I think the playing good tournaments and your name gets thrown around, and then all of a sudden, that's why I asked that question of Mitch. It's like all of a sudden your name gets thrown around and you're linked to everything, and all of a sudden you've got to learn how to live this lifestyle and still perform all the time. And that's where I feel like some of these guys that play franchise cricket right around the world and do it, successfully, are still really consistent. I think it's super impressive, and and I think it's a great opportunity to mingle with some of the guys that do have that, do that for a living, because some of their secrets I think they can share with the ones that are fresh on the circuit, and can maintain that for a long period of time. It's pretty impressive.
Have you bent the ear of many, Mitch, so far? The teammates that you've met in this whirlwind?
Yeah, there's been a few actually. We've got quite a young team here, but one guy that really stood out to me early days was Colin Munro. He was at the Cayman Islands last year, and he's obviously had a very successful career, like you just spoke about. Heels been consistent all around the world for a long time. So, tapping into him. This is probably before it all started, to be fair. In the Caymans last year, that was he was great and has so much knowledge and expertise in this sort of cricket, I guess.
Tell us about your craft, if you could, when it comes to clearing the rope. So 36 sixes in the BBL this year. Now, Chris Lynn has taken that personally, and he said you've given him motivation to beat that this upcoming season. The craft of hitting a six in T20 cricket, are you along the lines of, I'm feeling it right now, so all I'm going to do is try and hit the living shit out of the ball? Or are you a bit more tactical with it?
No, definitely that first option, to be fair. And and even if I'm not feeling it, I'll tell myself that I'm feeling it and try and hit through the bad feelings. But for me, I mean, opening the batting and getting given the opportunity at the top of the Hurricanes order, I feel like it was almost my job and my duty to get us off to a good start and let the middle order come out with a little bit less stress in terms of the run rate. So once I got away in a couple of games, I sort of found my plan and worked out how I wanted to go about it, because that was best for the team. So it was pretty simple for me, just get in a good position and swing as hard as I can.
Fair.
Do you prefer that opening? I mean, you batted a lot in the middle order as well, but does opening the batting actually give you that license to go out there and do that? Because it's a little bit harder to do from ball one in the middle where there's 5 out. So does opening the batting allow you to do that easier?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I could, when I played T20 cricket and batted it at 7, 8, 6, whatever it was, I felt like I went out there and tried to slog from ball one, which is silly because I've just said that I like to do that at the top order. But when I'm actually trying to slog, I feel like I get myself in terrible positions and I'm a shocking six hitter when I'm trying to overhit the ball. So to open the batting, it sort of gives you a little bit more time to get in. Although I was lucky enough this year, I could get away quite quickly. But yeah, I definitely prefer opening the batting. Just obviously having 2 fielders out helps a lot, so you can miss hit them over the infield and they go for 4. But yeah, I hope that's my role for a long time.
Is it along the lines of, in baseball, designated hitter in a way with some parts of the lineup? We've seen obviously Travis Head over at Hyderabad in the last couple of seasons. He is basically a designated hitter, literally, because they got the impact sub over there. But you're the consequence of you getting it right versus not right, and that's like getting not many, like Mitch Marsh the other night, golden duck as opposed to 50s that he was scoring. The reaction from those around you isn't any different. It's like, well, we've got to take that with that because that's the role.
Yeah, I definitely hope so, and I feel like that's probably given me the confidence to take the game on so much. The fact that I am backed in from the coaches, the organisation, I guess, and the senior players in the group. That's massive for me. And yeah, I can go out there and not feel pressure. Obviously feel pressure, but if I fail, I know that I can walk off and those guys still get around me for trying to do what's best for the team.
Hey, another big, tall Tasmanian who had a pretty good summer was Bo Webster. Now, he's obviously slug from snug, and there's one pub in his hometown where he can walk in, I think, for the rest of time. I don't know officially, but I dare say for the rest of time and not have to pay for a beer and, Is there a pocket of Tasmania which is similar for you, or there's only one slug from snug?
There's only one slug from snug. Yeah, he's a completely different person when he's walking around the streets of not only Snug but Hobart these days. You wouldn't even recognise him, to be fair. The struts coming out. He's got the new Rolex watch on the wrist, making sure everyone can see it. So no, there's nothing like that for me. Thank God.
What, you still got the same car and you still live in the same house? And yeah, exactly. Yet, Heel says.
I don't have the same car, but I'm still living in the same house.
Okay, there's a little inkling of what's coming, I dare say. But is it trying to not get ahead of yourself? Because, you can look around and see the carrot that exists in world cricket, but you've got to execute. So where's that in your mindset? I'm guessing it's with you from an early age about not getting ahead of yourself, but how do you not let it get ahead of yourself?
Yeah, I think it's quite easy for me, to be fair. I just come back to trying to be a good person, to be fair, and that's something that my parents instilled in me in a really early age. It's not about the cricket side of it. It's more about being that good person, and yeah, I feel like because I'm so young, it wasn't that long ago I was that little fan that was jumping on the fence asking for gloves, autographs, whatever. So even after that final, I still felt like I had a role to play in making sure everyone got their photo, their autograph, all that sort of stuff, and making people's day. And yeah, I mean, all that other side of it, I don't tend to think about too much. Like I mentioned before, I didn't know if I was up to playing cricket at this level 6 months ago. So right now, it's still so new to me that I'm at the PSL. I'm getting those opportunities. So yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to take it a day at a time and yeah, not get ahead of myself, which I think I'm doing at this stage.
What was the backup plan?
There wasn't one, to be fair. I don't know. I don't know what would happen. Who knows?
Sound familiar, Heels?
He had to succeed. There you go. Sometimes when you put a little pressure on yourself and you don't have anything to fall back on, you've got to succeed, right? There you go.
No other
Bad
option.
thing. Yeah,
I think I've asked this to you, Heels, before, but what was your backup plan?
Mine?
Yeah.
Marine biology.
That's right. Yes, how could I forget?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a long day.
Incoming Seinfeld joke.
Exactly.
Well, actually,
is it a
this
title?
is probably a bad... Yeah. It's probably a bad question following that up, Mitch. But then... So, yeah, obviously had a really great summer. Then you went away against South Australia and you made 100 off not many rocks in a 50-over game as well. So... What do you think you need to do to get the call from Andrew McDonald or George Bailey to go, we want you to come and open the batting for Australia, whether it be T20, ODI format, whatever it might be? Where do you think you need to take your game to be able to get that opportunity?
I mean, right now I feel like consistency in what I do in terms of opening the batting and taking the game on. Consistency in that role is huge, I think. So for me, I don't really tend to think about getting the call up in that next stage, but yeah, I feel like if I can be consistent in every game and try and get our team off to the best start, yeah, that'll hold me in good stead for the future, and it'll also hopefully make the teams that I'm playing for successful. So yeah, that's when I go out there, I'm thinking about what I can do to win the game, not thinking about the external stuff, as we call it.
Your brother Cameron has been in the Swan system in AFL. Heels, GWS ambassador. Don't hold that against the Owen family, please. He got drafted there. It wasn't his fault. He's still playing a bit of footy as well, but he's over 200 centimetres as well. How freaking tall is your family?
Very tall family, to be fair. My sister's over 6 foot as well. I think she's probably 6'1" or 6'2". So yeah, good tall genes, I guess. I'm going to be the shortest soon, I think, which is a bit embarrassing, but
Please tell me your sister plays sport.
She does. She played netball for a long time, and now she's actually just moved to Melbourne to play footy, AFL. So yeah, she's having a crack at that as well.
So another Owen out there on a sports field. Fantastic. Well, mate, really appreciate you joining us on Willow Talk. Well done on the last summer, and hopefully there's plenty more summers like it to come. Just before we let you go, we've got something coming up in Sundries about the weirdest man of the match, player of the match awards that have been given and received. I don't know if you've copped a player of the match award throughout your time in cricket that you've gone, okay, that's a bit different, but I'll walk away with it with a smile on my face, or something you've seen. Is there anything that pops into your mind?
I think I got a 20. I don't know if I should say this, but I got like a $25 gift card for KFC after the BBL final, which is, I don't know, it's good. I'll take it. A few pepper mayo sliders and popcorn chicken, but
wait,
yeah, I was like, that's a little bit weird.
Hang on. KFC, I dare say the naming rights for the Big Bash isn't cheap, and you have gone out there in front of millions and done what you've done, and you've got a $25 gift voucher?
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was meant to be more in the box or someone's taken it, because it stayed in the change rooms for a few days after the final. But yeah, when I opened it up at home, I was like, oh, there's a bucket hat, a pair of Zinger Sunnies, and a $25 KFC voucher.
Mitch, I will say you got stitched up there, because I did an ad for KFC and they gave me 10 $25 gift vouchers. So you
must be nice.
Yeah,
I hope you enjoyed that.
McDermott's taken the other 9. Yeah.
How long they last, Heels?
I think I've still got them, to be honest with you. I don't eat it.
Okay. Hey, actually, Mitch, I did skip over one question. When you were talking about that wonderful story about signing autographs, and there was those great historical photos of you cheering on the Hurricanes back in the day. What's the one moment, interaction, autograph picture that you'll always cherish with a player that you looked up to?
I've actually got a few, to be honest. There's one that sticks out. Ricky Ponting, actually, he gave me a pair of gloves. I think it was after a Tassie one-day game at home when we used to get decent crowds there. There's actually a photo of it somewhere where he's handing me a pair of gloves, and also I think he's taking his daughter off his wife at the same sort of time, and there's people everywhere. But there is a photo of it somewhere, which I need to try and find. But yeah, that moment, I think those gloves are still in Mum and Dad's garage somewhere. But that moment sticks out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we love those stories, don't we, Heels, about the interactions, because they last. Here's a guy who's playing international cricket now. He still remembers that day as clear as day.
Yeah, I'm playing international cricket, and I still remember the guy at Hobart who gave me a lollipop for a pair of gloves. So it works for us too.
Exactly. Mitch, I added a couple on there. There was like a PS to the question and answer there, but we are done now, mate. Really appreciate your time. Good luck in the PSL, and look forward to seeing what's next.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
What a nice fella. Must be the first name. Yeah. Heels?
Well, I guess so. It doesn't go to all of them, but yeah, nice fella. A nice story too. I mean, like he's a young guy figuring out his journey at the moment, and he's sort of shot to the top because of an amazing summer. But yeah, being able to maintain that's going to be a really interesting one to follow. But I mean, you couldn't ask for a nicer human to work his way through it. So I hope he finds every success.
Just a little memo for the Cricket Australia sponsorship department. Maybe have a word to KFC. We love their support of cricket across the board, but you know, if a guy does that in the big stage, maybe bump it up a little. All these triple figures.
It's more so that $25 doesn't give you a lot anymore. So at least make it 50, so you can buy your mates a pepper mayo slider as well.
Oh dear. So Sundries is all about. We threw it out there to our listeners, and we've researched it as well about the weirdest player of the match awards that you've seen, and Ross Taylor's on this list because he got 181 KFC chicken dollars after he scored 181. So Rossi over there, the Kiwi great, he cleaned up, and Mitch not. So KFC do different things like this. But it kicked off out of this Heels with we talked about the fact James Vince received a hairdryer as his man of the match performance over in Pakistan. So we questioned that, but you don't think that's a bad one?
I think that's great. I mean, I get it. Like, look at some of the Pakistani players' hair. It's immaculate. Yeah. So I think that they've done that on purpose. But James Vince has got a good head of hair as well, so he'd be fine. But imagine, I'd happily get a nice hairdryer. That'd be great. We normally get a bowl or something, and then I got to put it in my kit bag to get it home. It's just not. Yeah. It's not good.
Not a hairdryer user. It might actually all fly off for once and all for all. But anyway,
you just pat it down.
Yeah, exactly. Heels, as I've said, I arrange my hair. I don't do it. Also, these ones. Dan Vittori. So this is the one about Dan Vittori I alluded to at the top of the show. He got a Mitsubishi Lancer over in Sri Lanka for being player of the series, and he proceeded to get into it and do handbrake slides on the field after winning the game with the other Black Caps in the car, thinking it's a Friday night in Hamilton. My goodness. Yeah. Daniel.
Gold. It sounds about right. I mean, what else are you supposed to do by you get given a car after a final? What else are you going to do? But I was saying to match that, I remember Lisa Kitely telling me a similar story when they won the 1997 World Cup in India. They got, I think she won player of the tournament or player of the final and got a car. So they all proceeded to get in the car. So it was like a clown car moment where there's 11 players trying to jam into this tiny little like Toyota Corolla looking thing. Did a few laps, victory laps in it at Eden Gardens, and then got out. But I think they sold it. So before they left, they sold the car and then got, basically the next day they all went into the team room and they divvied it up between all the players. So they just got cash, like a wad of rupee. So it was all divvied up in the room. So everyone came in, got their wad, put it in their pocket and left again. So it's not such a bad thing. Yeah, logistically probably easier than driving the thing home. So, yeah. Well, getting it shipped home. Exactly. Mackay and Teeny got a brand new lawnmower in 2003 against Ireland. Rate that highly, especially for our lawnmower man and woman segment here on Willow Talk. Kane Williamson got $1,000 paint voucher. Who needs $1,000 worth of paint? Kane might need more. Big house. House renos? Yeah. Nicholas Poran got a brand new hard rock guitar. That's not bad. Owen Morgan, this is the kicker. Owen Morgan got a rice cooker. Great. In theory, get it. And you're probably being sponsored by someone who's being very generous. It's awesome. But logistically, how do you get that home? A rice cooker? That's the issue. Difficult. Yeah. Very difficult. Yeah, not easy. So you're just going to give it to one of your teammates to take home to their family, and then you miss out. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's us on Willow Talk this week. Heels, thank you for that. Enjoy the rest of your trip, unless you've got something else to add over there from India. No. Brilliant. Not much. Sorry. Well, enjoy putting your feet up. And enjoy watching Mitch do his thing in the IPL and all the other Aussies over there and all the good cricket. And we'll catch you soon. Thank you. Nice to chat. Indeed. Thanks for listening to Willow Talk. Have a great Easter, everyone. And we will be back next week. We've got a special episode on the way. It's the start of our Ashes series. We've got a special guest in Graham Swan. So make sure you listen to that one. You won't stop laughing.
Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.